Hello and welcome to this Professional Development Week session, Maths Actually. My name is Charmaine Phelps and I'm a Provider Development Officer here at NCFE, supporting our centres with the delivery of their functional skills qualifications. Now, this session is open to all teachers. It is not qualification specific, and when I've looked at the registration form, there's a big range. Some people are functional skills teachers or math specialists, and other people are not at all. So because it is so close to Christmas and I've blatantly stolen the title from Love Actually, I'd like you to join me with singing. And this is our sound check. So let me know if in the chat if you can hear okay. I counted on my fingers. I counted on my toes. Can you hear okay? Maths is all around me. And so the numeracy grows. Okay, enough of that. Thank you very much for the applause, Tracy. That's so very much appreciated. So this is an interactive session promoting an appreciation of the math skills we use in everyday life and strategies for encouraging enjoyment of maths. So we're going to start with a poll, just a quite straightforward question. How are you feeling today? So please join the poll. Great. Okay, somebody's feeling great. 3 participants typing. You can either join it, you can join it on your smartphone, or you can join it on your device as well by going to the Slido website. Tired, ready for Christmas break. Me hungover? Well, on a Thursday morning, Christmassy, very good. Fine, okay. You know, we've got a range of feelings here. And that's a hungover smiley face rather than how I was feeling last Friday, actually, after our Christmas party, hungover, a completely different emoji. Yeah, pop how you're feeling in there, and there'll kind of be a bit of a relevance to that. There's somebody else typing, so ready for the break. Yeah, totally. Me too. So Christmas full of chocolates. I wish I was. Today I was disappointed with my advent calendar today. It was just a little ball. I like it. We've got a lint advent calendar and I like it when I get a little teddy. So let's move on. So now the next poll, what is maths? Please feel free to answer with your best dictionary definition, or feel free for perhaps the person who's hungover to answer with the answer that perhaps some of your more cheeky learners might answer. So what is maths? See you typing there. Maths is amazing. Maths is everything all around us. Math is all around us, an everyday skill. Okay, these are good. A beautiful science and an art. Maths is vital. Learning, finding it scary. Just a scary subject for some. Misunderstood. Mental abuse to adults. That's quite funny. Problem solving, logical problem solving. Humans, that was meant to say. Oh yeah, mental abuse to humans. Yeah, that makes sense now because it's an acronym. It's an everyday skills needed for the growth and development of children for future life skills. Some learners are anxious about maths as they don't use what's needed as part of functional skills. Yeah, definitely. So, okay, so that's what we think our definition of maths is. So next question, and bear in mind we've got a huge range of your job roles. My next question is, how do you feel about maths? So we know how you feel in yourselves today, ranging from hungover / okay / fine to great, fantastic, tired, ready for a break. How do you feel about maths? Would avoid it if I could. Better than I did when I started my job, more confident. That's nice. Challenging without practice. I think it's fun. Yeah, maths can be fun. But that's the thing, you see, sometimes a challenge can be fun. Puzzles to solve. That's how you see it, but how do you feel about it? If somebody says, today we're going to spend the whole day doing maths, how does that make you feel? Delivering fun experiences, real world enjoy. To be honest, actually, not, yeah, considering the range of people's jobs, not everybody here is a maths specialist at all. I thought I'd see a much bigger contrast between people's feelings about how they feel today, you know, being the end of term and having a bit of fun, to how they feel about maths. Because I know, you know, it's not just learners who sometimes see maths as a bit anxious. But yeah, empowered. Yeah, lovely. So lots of lovely answers there. So let's skip on. And now, although all of us do have different specialisms and job roles, and so what we've been doing between arriving at work and this session may be very different, it's likely that our journey between lying in bed this morning and arriving at work will be very similar. We're woken by an alarm. We may have had breakfast of some kind. I always have 2 boiled eggs, actually. We will have completed our morning ablutions and then travelled either on foot, bike, car, bus, train or tram. And we all manage that probably without once thinking about maths. So does that mean that no maths was involved? Well, if we go back a little bit, and I'd like you to answer in the chat for me. Go back to our alarm clock. Okay, when we set our alarm in the morning, how do we decide what time that we're going to set it? Please pop answers in the chat. And I've just seen some more. So yeah, we're using time. We kind of have to work subtraction. Fiona's put in, yes, it's working for you, Claire. Fantastic. And then what about the next thing that we've got to do? What do we do next? Eat our breakfast. Any maths involved there?
Only if you're on Slimming World.
Yeah, well, yes, if you're on Slimming World, counting calories. But is it only if you're on Slimming World and you're counting calories? Ratio of milk to cereal, brilliant. Yeah, how crunchy do you want your cereal? Dividing the milk left between the cereal and tea. Yeah, it's sometimes if you're in a situation where you're very low on milk, the quantity of milk, the quantity of anything that you've got. You know, all of us, you know, when we're sort of running our homes, my mum she never called herself a housewife. She wasn't married to the house. She was a household manager. And with 9 children, she had a lot to manage. Stock taking, you know, how do we know how much stuff we've got left? How long to let the tea brew? Now that is a very important piece of maths to get right first thing in the morning. Even our morning ablutions, if you like. Again, you're kind of timing. Timing boiling the eggs. I do mine for 4.5 minutes. Don't know anybody else. Temperature of the shower. I can't change the temperature of my shower, annoyingly. I have to actually change the thing of my I have to change the hot water at the boiler to change the temperature. But if you're saving water, just heard on the radio this morning that water prices, the water rates are going to go up if you're on a meter. They recommend, is it a 2-minute shower or a 7-minute shower? Big difference between the two, but there's, you know, to save water. Traveling to work. So much maths involved in traveling to work, even if it is just walking downstairs. How much toothpaste to use, and do you put the cap back on? Like we've got some typing in the chat for traveling to work, the cost of trains, the buses, the distances, figuring out which one you can get to get the timing right, the bus timetable, or these days we mainly use apps, don't we? Getting the right bus to the right destination, the number on the bus, how many people are on the bus, can you get a seat? You know, so much maths involved before we have even got to college. So ultimately, maths, it really is all around us, and showing your learners that they're already succeeding at maths before they even get to college or whatever your training provider is can help dispel the myths around maths being impossible and unnecessary. I was actually just thinking, because people are always saying about, why do you need to know the hypotenuse anyway? What's the point of that? Now, as I come out of the junction of my road, I've got a sharp right turn. People are always parked on the left. I have to angle myself at the correct angle so I can see the maximum distance that cars are coming from the other direction without even realizing it. You see, if I position myself on the left-hand side of that junction, the angle that I would be seeing, my view of where the cars are coming is much shorter. So I position myself in the road using I want the longest distance of that triangle. So yeah, lots of maths already. So we're going to following on from the theme of maths actually, active teaching. So we'll think about some strategies. Please let me know in the chat what some of your favourite active teaching strategies are. I'll share some, and obviously some of you I know are maths teachers. I recognise some names and faces there. But yeah, active teaching, things like think, pair, share. This encourages collaboration and peer learning. So learners think about a question or a problem individually. They then pair up to discuss their thoughts and then share their insights with the larger group. Or another active teaching strategy is the muddiest point. Learners reflect on particularly challenging areas, which provides invaluable feedback for the teacher, and then you, the teacher, can ask, well, what didn't you understand, or what point did you find the most complex, and then follow up with a more focused session exploring that concept. Also, field trips, site visits, connecting learning to real-world situations. They enhance understanding, contextualization of knowledge, and they don't have to be expensive. A walk to the shops to look for best buys and discounts may need a little bit of organization, but it would be free. Or even if you're teaching simply online, you can kind of activate that yourself by setting tasks for your learners to do. Sian said using trees to do times tables for a non-calculator paper. What do you mean by that? Running through mock papers to teach. Some use pizzas for fractions. Definitely, that's a really good one. Oh, who's putting about swimming lengths? I'm so much that when I swim in the morning, I measure the number of lengths I do in fractions, percentages, and multiples. So do I. I don't know how many lengths you do, Claire, but I aim for 64. I aim for 64 for a number of reasons. One is it is a mile, but also because 64 is brilliant. You can, once you've done 8, you've done an eighth. 16, 30, it works out really nice. Any even like 24 is the 64 is the best number for swimming lengths. Is my thing. Litres to gallons with fuel and price per litre. We've got down there, what else have we got? You do 60. 60 is just not as much fun, Claire, sorry. Go for 64 and you will enjoy your swim so much more, trust me. 72 has more factors. Yeah, active teaching, the more that you can get, the better. But yeah, fitness. Get your learners, particularly if you're a vocational teacher, lots there. What else have we got? So active teaching methods, games, and I am going to play a few games. I've got some sort of already prepared. Online games or face-to-face, they can be good for practicing a skill, providing a purpose for being numerate. So please pop links, ideas in the chat. Like card games may involve adding as part of a game, like what we call pontoon, others call blackjack or 21. You have to add up to 21, or cribbage, where you have to add up to 15. But all card games tend to involve probability. Or you might gamify practicing math skills by using Kahoot with teams to answer multiple choice questions. Please keep popping into the chat. We're going to move on. Projects. Practical tasks are a great way to engage learners in something they're interested in, with maths not being a primary focus, just a tool to use to achieve the desired end result. For example, baking, construction, planning and budgeting for a trip out. Please let us know in the chat any projects that you set or trips that you've been involved in that have involved maths. And I can see people are typing in the chat. The reason I'm skipping on is because I'm going to get you to do an activity and I'm very aware of the time. So I've got a sandbox activity, and I'm sure what I can see Elena typing is probably the link. What I'd like to do is go to sandbox and consider the different jobs and suggest some projects that would relate to that role that involve maths. So let me open up the sandbox. So if you haven't used Sandbox before, this is what it looks like. And over here, somebody's already going over here, anonymous. Oh, look, they're already. This is how you can add a sticky note. You can change the color. I like blue the best. So I can create my sticky note and then start typing. If I've made a mistake, I can edit it. If I don't like what I've written, I can just delete it. So please, we've got on this first one, you can change the cards on the left. We've got hairdressing on here. If you're nothing to do with hairdressing or can't think of anything, then we've got this could either be science or health, healthcare science with on there. Then we also have construction, and we've got like childcare here. So I know a lot of our providers deal with apprentices who are doing like childcare or early years apprenticeships. So please pop your ideas on there. What projects could you set? On there. Yeah, keep that. I like that. You don't. That was nice. What you were writing there. So I've got lots of ideas on the. Oh, now I'm guessing this is somebody who actually knows about hairdressing because they're calling it the column, sorting out the column for the day. I'm guessing that's hairdressing speak for the number of clients you have. How many clients can be filled in? Yeah. Time taking to cut hair, cutting the angles in as well. Colouring and the ratios, I expected to see that there. Measurements. Also, a lot of hairdressers, you can write text, by the way. I can see somebody writing text just by clicking a T. It's actually easier to write a note, just do a sticky note, I find. A lot of hairdressers are self-employed, and that goes for like construction workers as well. A lot of them are self-employed, and so not only are you having to like cost a job from start to finish, but yeah, costing a job, but also if you're self-employed, you have to think about marketing. And how are you social media is what is going to get you the best amount of exposure for your money, using social media ads or like spreading out word of mouth. So many different projects that can be done. So, and with childcare, shapes, sizes, singing nursery rhymes. And actually, although I was singing at the start, just for my own personal pleasure, and I do like to sing, there's a lot of maths involved with anything musical, actually, as well as with nursery rhymes, using nursery rhymes or little mnemonics as devices to remember different maths terms, getting the children to build using blocks, which also helps with social development. Yeah, but then anything that you're doing with childcare, you're again, you're sort of thinking about, well, how many blocks are we going to need? How much space have we got? How many kids have we got? The ratio of adults to children. So many different projects, and we're getting some on here. Percentages of different chemicals, ratios and measurements. Yeah, and the importance of that, getting those right, particularly if in a healthcare setting. So many different ideas coming onto there. So I'm going to skip away and go back to my PowerPoint. You can feel free to add, and when I send out the slides with a recording, I'm going to add in all of your ideas. So other things that you can do are puzzles. So here we have on the left-hand side, we've got this. We've got these tiles, these counters. How would you change this into this? So it's the opposite way round by moving just 3 of those counters. Have a look. Have a look and just tell me when you've worked out that you can do it. So which ones would you move? You can only move 3. See if you can work it out. So, oh, Matt has done it. Well, did you do it in the same way as I did it? It's probably no surprise that you've got that.
I won't say anything yet. It's really clear.
Pardon?
I won't say anything.
Okay. Do you know what? It actually took me, I had to look at the answer for this because I was thinking, right, I'm going to have to move that purple one over there. And then if I move that one over there and then that one over there, that's 3 counters that I've moved to get that line of 4 over here. But I've still got a mess here that, and I couldn't work it out for ages. Elena got it very quickly. So here's how, if my animations work. So we go 1, 2, 3. There we go, like magic. But we haven't actually involved any numbers there. But you know, problem-solving skills are important, and you know, setting puzzles. Puzzles are fun. Here's another one, Nerdle. Now, you may have heard of Wordle, sorry. Have you heard of Nerdle? So just like Wordle, Nerdle is a new game every day, but you can actually create your own Nerdles and use them with your learners. So Elena has popped one into the chat there. I can't open it because I've already solved it, so it will show you the answer. But please open up the link that she's popped into the chat. And the way this works is you know, we guess what it could possibly be. The first one, we're never going to get it right. So I've made a guess, 56 plus 48 equals 104. It kind of has to be correct, like a correct solution. And then if I click here, if the box goes purple, that tells me that I've definitely got a plus. So in my next attempt, I need to use a plus, but it's in the wrong place. There is an equals in it, but it's in the wrong place. There is a 4, an 8, a 1, and a 0, but they're all in the wrong place. If they were in the correct place, it would show up as green. I'm going to move on because it's already 10:27, but you can do this by scanning the thing on your phone or in with the thing that Elena's shown you, just to try that out. And then another idea is TikTok. I do talk about TikTok a lot.
And won 3/5 of their games. What percentage have they tied? Well, whenever I have a percentage problem, I like to visualize a bar that represents 100%, like a battery bar. Now, we know that 100% represents all of their game results, so we label what we know.
Don't know if you can.
The team lost 37% and won 3/5, so the rest must mean that they tied. So we need to combine the wins and losses percentages and subtract it from the...
Just to say, there's loads of maths TikToks, okay? Now, you do not need to have a TikTok account in order to use TikTok as a resource to support, oh, Matt, you're just too quick, as a resource to support your learners. But, you know, I just did a, put into TikTok percentages to see what would came up, and this one came up, and it's actually quite a nice explanation of how to do this calculation. But if you send this as to your learners as an explainer of how to do this particular type of question, and your learners will probably have TikTok accounts and they watch it on their own TikTok accounts, it will actually automatically create for them, it'll change their algorithm. So TikTok will think, oh, you find it confusing. Well, you can always find a different one. And you didn't hear her speak because I silenced her. But as an idea, you can share maths videos that you that you find or you think that your learners will find straightforward, and it will change your learners' algorithms and pump more maths content at them. This one that I just went to was just for a cake mixture, because it gave you the a different cake recipe that you could think about increasing. And again, there's other things that you can use that are not necessarily maths related, but here we can see somebody like doing a skirting board, and again they're looking at angles here, and how the importance of they've got doing a 45-degree using I never know how to say it, meter or mitre, using a mitre cut. But yeah, using TikTok as a resource can be a nice idea. So those are just a few ideas. So in summary, we've had a really short amount of time this morning, and I do know that we won't have covered everything that everybody wanted from what you said in the registration form, which is why I am going to send you the link for a session that I did last year that you also might find helpful. But considering what we have looked at, which is the everyday maths that we do without even thinking about it. And we've considered some ways to engage learners with maths sometimes without ever necessarily needing to use the word maths. That's why puzzles are good. Let's do a puzzle. So what is your key takeaway from this very short session? Please pop it into there. And while you're popping that into there, I'm going to send you 2 links. One is a link to this numeracy necessities that I did last year, which some of you might find useful, because particularly those of you who are not maths specialists, because we sort of look at different maths concepts. What's your key takeaway? Maths and more maths. Let's just do more of it. That maths is all around, actually. Very good. And actually, Elena, can you find the delivery support page, the events page for functional skills maths, and put that into the chat? Some of you guys are already functional skills tutors, so I know that you know where that page is, but some of you I know are not maths teachers, but you may benefit from some of the CPD support that we do offer with maths. Yeah, keep it fun and interactive, definitely. Say thank you very much. Myself and Elena will stay to answer any questions. I'll stop the recording. So if you'd like to stay and ask questions, please do so. And if not, have a fantastic Christmas holiday.